That was pathetic. That was very, very pathetic. I'm very tired, guys. I think it's well known by because I know this sounds crazy, but um I just I don't know, I just wanted to do something normal. For those of you that don't know, my mom is not doing well. She's on hospice, and the reason why I wasn't here yesterday is on Friday I got a call from the nurses. I was already planning on being there next week. Hey, just a heads up. She stopped eating. So once that happens, there's a chance that people can go very quickly. Now, I was like, all right, I'm going to drop what I'm doing and jump on a plane. And I did, and it was hard, but basically said goodbye. There's I don't think I'm going to be there the day she passes. I don't think I ever thought that I was going to be there the day she passes. I live in Texas. She lives in Massachusetts. So unless I was to take off work again, and I've already taken off so much, guys, I can't. And she wouldn't want me to. But unless I was to take off work again and sit there fine for, you know, I was hoping, not thinking, hoping she was going to be fine for a little while longer, and that's not the case. But you know what? I also said to myself, um, I actually said it out loud too. I don't give a fuck. I would want, well, I know I would want it to be very quick. Are we streaming? I want to make sure we're streaming, guys, because I don't have anybody here. But every time I take a little day off, I'll take a day off, and then I'll come back, and people will forget all about me. Let me double check something, because I'm not seeing any. I'm not seeing any live. There we go. There we go. No, no, no. I just spoke too soon. On the edge is in the chat. Um, yeah. So if I sound really tired, I'm not depressed and crying and shit like that. I really am really tired. It's very depressing. I'm sad. My mom's dying, but it's just I had to jump on a plane right away. I forgot to pack shirts. Like, I'm not joking. I forgot to pack. The t-shirt that I was wearing was the t-shirt that I had the whole trip. Um, I packed like 2 pairs of pants, some underwear, and 2 hoodies, and then one t-shirt that was on my persons. So I've just been mentally out of it. Mentally out of it. On top of that, flying sucks. Flying for 6 hours, 6, 7 hours, different time zones, jet lag. Then you're dealing with running back and forth, getting the car, going to her, going to my friends, going to apartment. It was definitely an exhausting trip, like all of them are. So, um, yeah, just like I said, I jumped on here today. Um, I was supposed to do an episode yesterday with a guest. That one I missed, but I jumped on here today because I wanted to not be, dealing with that for an hour. Obviously, with the exception of the 10 minutes that I'm going to spend talking about it. But um, yeah, mom's basically, you know, my mom. I love you, but it's kind of like a default response. She noticed me. She did one time. I have it on video. It's a beautiful moment. I got basically the last words, and I still might be able to see her again before she passes away. I just don't know. But she wouldn't want me sitting there for 2 weeks. I have a customer down here whose bathroom, which is what I'll do. And if she passes in that meantime, I got everything I needed. I got to say goodbye. I got to talk to her. I read her a poem here because this is what we do. All right. The world doesn't stop fucking turning when you have tragedy. I'm telling you guys, this is a life lesson for everybody on here. When my dad died, I was at work. The second I left, the second I got on the plane and went back to Texas after his funeral, I went to work. When my brother died, I went to work. My mom's dying, I'm going to work. The world doesn't give a fuck about me. All right? Other people have problems. This guy has his bathroom open. I'm going to get it done for him. And I'm going to do a damn good job because that's what I do. So, for anybody that would even think, like, oh, I would have just stayed there, I'm not you. You don't know all the details. You don't know who she was, what she was like. I'm making this decision because I have had that conversation. I had that conversation with one of my friends. My friend was like, "Why don't you just come up here, use the money that you raised, come up here and sit by her bed?" Oh, oh, here's why. First of all, she wouldn't want me to. Okay, she wouldn't want me to. That's the bottom line. She wouldn't want me to take all of that money that I raised that I can donate to other people, that I can use for good, that I can use to pay for all of her bills or expenses, the funeral, the memorial. Um, because that's what it's going to. It's going to a beautiful memorial. We're donating a lot of it. Um, she wouldn't want me to use it so I could take off 3 months, however long it takes, sit by a bed, bored out of my mind, withering away with her. So that's not going to happen. Secondly, I can't give the dog to my friend long term, 3 months, and no, I can't bring him up there with me, right? Because my mom lives in a 55 plus community. I can't stay at her house when I go up there. I have to crash on couches. I have to fucking or get an Airbnb, which is also very expensive. You know, shit adds up. Everyone's like, "Oh, but you raised 50 grand." I didn't raise 50 grand. I didn't. They took out some taxes. I think it was like 3%. My brother stole some money. I paid off all of her fucking bills. I paid off a few different trips. I paid for some of my trips myself, some of the trips, the emergency ones. 50 grand ain't a 50 grand no more, dog. It's fucking a lot less. A lot less. And I don't want to use it on myself. Despite what you'll hear from my fucking haters, I don't use that money on me. I have my money and they have and I have her fund. I try to use her fund only for those expenses. It's fucking wild. My haters are literally thinking that I'm like rolling in the dough. I don't give a fuck about 50 grand. I made 50 grand on one job last year. But I also took off 3 fucking months of work because of this shit. So I ain't fucking rolling in my own dough either. All right. Anyway, but that's the situation, guys. That's the update. I went up there. I said goodbye. It was very, very hard. Very emotional. I'm mentally and physically drained. And if I don't see her again, I will see her again. You know, that's if I don't see her down here. I mean, I don't know. Maybe she'll go up and I'll go down, but somehow we'll figure it out. Um, it's not fun, man. I'm losing my whole family. She's pretty much all that I consider my immediate family. My brother is dead to me. My other brother died. My father died. So it's closing a huge chapter. I'm gonna the connections that I have, the roots, not the connections, the roots that I have in Massachusetts, they go with her. There's no, there's nothing for me there anymore. You know, I'll go visit. I still have friends there. Go visit, but there's no real deep connection. So, um, all right, less depressing shit. Sorry, guys. Daily breakdown. This is why I want to do this. I wanted to do this so I would get away from that. More normal. We need normal today. I've been dealing with a lot of not normal. Um but I was a little I'm still a little out of it, guys. I think you can probably tell. I feel out of it. I feel like I'm talking slow. I feel like I'm spaced. Uh because of my whole intro. I won't repeat it. I won't dive down that road again. Um, so this morning I did the quick version. For those of you, Jesus Christ, for those of you that have been watching, I'm not drunk. I still haven't drank, guys. My friends wanted me to. They were like, "Get drunk." I was, "Nope, I'm still doing sober. I am just fucking out of it." Um, what was I saying? For those of you that have watched the show before, sometimes when I'm in a rush, I will just put everything into one slide. So that was this morning. We got the daily breakdown. If you guys have never watched this podcast before, if this is your first one, you're fucking. I'm sorry. Sorry. Wait, his mom's dying? Does he do this every time? No. It's Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I missed yesterday, obviously. I was on a plane. Um, the daily breakdown is when I type in the word news into a search bar, and whatever pops up, we talk about, and I will break it down. And this is what popped up today. Um, but I usually separate them into different little slides, and today I didn't have time. All right, so first up, combative Trump declares America is back. Here's what his voters made of it. Now, this is why it's a little more confusing because now I have to go and run through these slides. Donald Trump addressed to Congress do this, right? But I'm sure they were very selective on who they were queuing and what they were A-ing. From diehard Trump supporters, from diehard supporters of Trump's Make America Great Again movement to voters who consider them more centrist. The following 8 people represent a cross section of Americans who helped re-elect Trump. Um, okay, that's good. Now, trust me, bro, is what's going on here. Like, fake news will be like, these are one diehard MAGA voter and one voter that's really centrist. What grade do you give the president's address? A minus. What did you like about it? Mass deportation, la la la, da da da. I like the 5 million for citizenship program. Okay. What didn't you like about it? I'm an isolationist, so I'm not particularly fond of the plan to get Greenland. That's a good answer. I mean, I'm not an isolationist. I'm the opposite, but I like it when people are honest. If this is like a legit person being legit, then that's a good answer. Hey, look, I don't care what you are as long as you call yourself what you are. All right? So if you're an isolationist or a nationalist, call yourself an isolationist nationalist, right? I think you're fucking stupid for being them because America was founded on the exact opposite idea of isolationism and nationalism. We were anti British nationalism and anti expansionism on their end, but expansionism on our own. 13 original colonies turned into 50 states, and now you have the United States of America. Um, but it was originally founded to be um, to be grown, right? So if you're an isolationist, um, why stop now? That's my main question. Why don't you want Canada? Why don't you want Mexico? Why don't you want the United States to be the greater United States of America, where North America, the whole entire continent, is just us? I don't know why you don't want that, right? But at least you're honest. What changes did he announce or promises that will impact your everyday life? His changes to the military will impact me, not necessarily directly, but definitely our administrative support will be affected because of all the table buyouts and jobs. Okay, so that's one. Will Brown, 20, student at the University of Wisconsin. That's, I think, is Wisconsin liberal? I think it is. Wants to pursue a career in finance. He volunteered for Trump's campaign. So he's definitely a Trumper. Wanted to see prices go down. Da, da, da. Okay. What grade do you give the president's address? B plus. What'd you like about it? I like how he made some jokes today, which are always good. That's a 20-year-old's answer. The fact that he covered the economy as a whole and his tariffs as a whole is a plus. Covered both wars. What didn't you like about it? It ran long. Fucking shut the fuck up, you little 20-year-old cunt. Right? Hey, I fell asleep to it, essentially. I was still awake when it ended, but I was very droopy-eyed. You can tell I'm not doing well. Again, go back to the beginning. But I thought it was great how long it went. I think he set a record. He beat Bill Clinton. You know, when you're addressing the nation and you're going to have that many eyes on you, why not run it long? Why not cover everything? Why not just make all of the possible points that you can? And I love that part. Um it it, it also it answers this question, which the majority of people aren't asking about Trump's age. They're really not. Everyone was curious about Biden's age. And the wacko fucking radical left will try to gaslight and be like, Trump's old too. And it's like, bro, one fucking look at this dude. And you're like, he's not old. He's old in age. He's up there, but he don't act it. He don't look it. And he definitely just did a fucking 2-hour speech without fucking barely fucking stumbling at all. Biden couldn't do 2 fucking minutes. So, yeah, fuck your bullshit about old or long. All right. If he ends the Ukrainian war, we'd see a lot less refugees. How? What? What changes did he announce or promise that will impact your everyday life? If he ends the Ukrainian war, we'd see a lot less refugees. Yeah, we did, but you know what? I get what he's saying now. I was misreading that. It's not that many refugees from Ukraine. It's really not. They're conscripting most of their people and they're dying. I don't know what the numbers are. I'm sure I could look them up if I was a little more awake, but I'm not going to even bother trying. Um, our problem is not Ukrainian refugees; it's fucking everyone else. And that problem is essentially solved. Hey, borders shut down. The border crossings and asylum claims and all that shit is all down in like the 80-90% range. Finally, I think this is the last one. Lee Sandberg, 57, runs an accounting business and works for a former Republican Congressman Jason Chaffetz Political Action Committee in Utah, longtime supporter of Trump. So you should have emailed, you should have Q&A'd liberals for this. This would be a good story if you had one Republican, but I'm only pulling I think three, so maybe they were later on in that story. All right, great. What grade do you give Trump's address? A plus. It was Trump to run a third term. I know what happened to it. It's going nowhere. Trump's not going to run a third term. He's been trolling people, but he's not going to. You know how bills work in Congress. I think you would need a super majority for that one, and it's just never going to happen. So Trump is not going to serve a third term. JD Vance, I think, is looking real damn tasty to Trump because Trump's essentially going to have 3 terms starting now, right? If his successor continues MAGA, right? Like, put it this way. All right, so Trump's Trump got screwed, right? Trump got railroaded. He should have had 2 terms, but in retrospect, it was probably the best thing that could have happened to him because it would have been 8 years of Trump. Um, and Trump probably would have done some really good things. He probably would have gone down as a good president, like a decent president who exposed themselves. And by attacking him so hard, he sort of flipped the table over and just red pilled so many people. So now he gets unjustly booted out. Election gets stolen from him. Yes, it was stolen. And he comes back and he wins. So now he has 4 years. That 4 is really 12. All right. It's potentially 12. if Trump does such a good job cleaning up the mess that the Democrats just left, right? 4 years is and what happens when a president does a good job, right? On his first term, his first 4 years, good job means that president gets reelected. So Trump can't be reelected. So what are they going to do instead? They're going to elect his successor because they're going to want to see more of what Trump just did. And that successor, whether it be JD Vance or somebody else, that person can now have 8 years. So by taking away Donald Trump's 8 year stretch, they gave him a 12-year stretch. Now, the first 4 years was completely undone, right? So that's a wash, right? Trump had an awesome 4 years. Democrats had a shitty 4 years. Wash. Start it now. Starting now, Trump has 12 years. It's just not going to be Trump. And there is something that Trump can do, okay, that nobody's talking about. This is legit. This is legal. He can do this. He could be the vice president. He could. It's gonna piss people off, but he could. Or he could just be an advisor. So he could be an advisor to JD Vance. It's just like Obama was basically running for his third term with Joe Biden. Trump could do something similar, but more of an official capacity. Like, imagine JD Vance is like, I'm running. We're going from the Trump Vance ticket to the Vance Trump ticket. I would vote for that without even fucking hearing another word. I don't know if that's going to happen. That's not a prediction at all. I'm just telling you that is a possibility. And I don't think Trump would maybe want to because he really, really would be old. He would be very, very old at that point. So he might say, nope, I'm good. I'll be an advisor. Call me when you need me. If you need any advice, JD, I'll be here. But either way, Trump's got 12 years starting now. It's not going to be Donald Trump as president, but he's got 12 years if he pulls this off. There's one more. Herman Sims, a night operation for a trucking company. Happy to see that Trump efforts to surround wasteful governments. He's hopeful that Trump will. What grade do you give Trump? B plus. There's a couple things I don't know if Trump was factually correct on. For instance, he blamed the high price of eggs on Joe Biden. I don't know if that's true or not. I can answer that question. It's 1,000% true. It's 1,000% true. Joe Biden killed millions of chickens because he didn't know how to deal with the bird flu. By the way, bird flu doesn't just apply to chickens, it applies to a whole bunch of birds. It's called the bird flu, not the chicken flu. And for some reason, other birds didn't get affected by it. Yes, the high price of eggs is due to the slaughter of chickens. There's also a bunch of fires in chicken factories. I don't know if that was intentional or not. Don't know why they're killing all these chickens. Maybe they wanted to kill a whole bunch of chickens just so they could be like, look at the price of eggs. I don't know. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm saying it's a fact that they killed millions of chickens. Millions of chickens that produce eggs. Supply and demand. When supply is low, price goes up. That's Joe Biden's fault for killing all those chickens. Fact, not conjecture. All right. So yeah, unfortunately we got to do this. Let's jump into I want to jump into something here real quick. We got the X loaded up. Let's go here and see what happened. Oh, look at that. First fucking post that pops up. Andrew Tate. Let's talk about Andrew Tate real quick. The Matrix is attacking me. Nope. Nope. No, it's not. No, you're just being you're look, let me show you what happened. Let's go back to my page. First of all, here's the video of Andrew Tate slapping around the 15-year-old hooer, his words, not mine, that he pimped out. So Andrew Tate is right here in 4K. He's slapping around a 15-year-old girl that he admits he prostituted on camera to other men. Now, I don't know if you know this, but 15-year-olds can't consent. And yes, they are girls, not women. That makes him a pedophile. Now, anyone who's like, it's not a pedophile because it's a pedophile is for prepubescent and those are adolescents. Pedophile. Fuck you. Your fucking hard drive needs to be seized by the federal fucking government. If you think somebody in their late 20s banging a 15-year-old is not a pedophile. If that's your argument, fucking jail immediately. Wood chipper, buried underneath the prison, set on fire, all of it, right? No, we're not doing this. We're not doing semantics, okay? Holy shit. Um, so, covering this as best I can just by posting and reposting. So, Stu Peters, here we go. By the way, guys, you're going to want to head over to Rumble. We're doing the new thing every day. We are only giving a half hour for free. Well, it's free on Rumble too. We're only giving a half hour on X and YouTube. I want to bring more people over to the Rumble channel. So head over there now. The link is in my bio and the top right hand of this screen. You can type this into your browser, rumble.com/TMP uncensored. YouTube and X, you can fuck off. All right, we'll see you over there.